Hi, I'm here to demonstrate my submission for assignment 2 of COMP489. First thing, we're going to launch the Corba. Now you have access to these batch files. They're inside my solution, just to make it easy to launch the different clients and the server. So once we've launched the Corba, we just launch the server as well. We have a batch file for that as well, and we can see the server is running. And before we launch the clients, I just want to show some differences, right? So we have two clients. These two folders here have the exact same source code. The only difference is pretty much the information in the shared files config, right? So if we take a look here, we have two files. We have smile.png and information.txt. This is for our first client, and our second client, let's see, has different files. Has different data. So the files being shared between these two clients are different, right? And you can see inside each individual folder, there's the data files that are that will be shared. So I'll just go ahead and launch client one, and there we go. So this is pretty much what the client GUI looks like. So if we take a look at the database, let me just refresh this here. We take a look at the database, we can see as of right now, we only have one client, right? And if we take a look at the files being shared, we can see we only have the two files that were specified in the original config. So let's go ahead and launch the second client. And now we have the second client. I'm just going to pull this up. If you take a look here, you follow my mouse, right? The second client is running a local server on port 5051, but the first client is running the server on port 5050. This is explained a little more in the test plan, but I just wanted to point that out there, right? So we have our two clients, right? We have client one and client two. So we can take a look at the files just to see if there are any new files, and we should be able to see more files in the in our database. So at this point, we're given the option to search for a file. So from client one, let me pull up the client one folder. I'll just yeah, so we can see everything. Make that, maximize that. I'm gonna search for a file that I know it doesn't exist first. So search for fake.txt, and we can see there's no match found because the only files being shared are the files that we saw in the database earlier, right? But if I was to search for, let's say for instance, friendlist.txt, we make the call through Cobra to the server, and we're able to download the file. We're given an option to download the file, right? So once I click yes here, the client then determines which other client has the file, right? So if you take a look at this folder right now, client one, right, the friendlist.txt document doesn't exist, right? Actually, I should show you what's inside friendlist.txt just so we make sure it's the so we have two names, two friends. Just close that. Go back to the client one folder. So you can see we still don't have that document. But as soon as I click yes, the friend list.txt now appears inside the client one. So the client one made a request to pick up sorry, to download the friend list document. And as we can see here, the list of files being shared has increased. So client one now has access to friend list. Now this would work the same way from here. Like for instance, if we go to client 2, the PNG, we can see client 2.png doesn't have the smile document, but we can search for it and it will be added to this folder. And there we go. Smile's been downloaded, and it's uh, it's been created inside the document. Now, if we were to remove a selected file, let's say for instance information.txt, right? So as of right now, we have information.txt under client one, but we can remove information.txt and refresh our list of shared files, and we can see that information.txt is no longer here. We have a few extra, I don't want to call them duplicates, so we have a few extra files, but that's because as we downloaded the new files, they were added to a list of shared files from the client. So now both of these clients essentially are registered as having the same file. So that pretty much sums up my demonstration of the source code for assignment one. And thank you.